the top 5 biggest slots cheaters at land-based casinos in history. A film by CasinoWow. The gambling industry is a wonderful place full of marvel, mystery, and mega jackpot winnings. It is also a place filled with rules, requirements, and wins based on chance rather than own accord. We're taking a look at some of the most famous cheaters who managed to change their fate and conquer slot machines in land-based casinos over the years. Top 5 big slot machine cheaters. Alex, the Russian hacker. Alex, a Russian mathematician and programmer, became known for targeting casinos, hacking slots, and making millions from these machines. Alex is perhaps one of the most famous slot hackers of all time, who, instead of getting caught, chose to quit after 8 years of hacking. Essentially, a venture was built dedicated to reverse engineering algorithms, commonly known as pseudo-random number generators. These allowed him to predict when games were going to pay out. Alex would pass this information to his field agents, who traveled worldwide in search of slot machines matching the numbers he had cracked. They filmed the targeted machines in action and sent the recordings back to the main office, where Alex and his team carefully analyzed the footage to pinpoint when the odds would tip in their favor. They could ultimately travel from casino to casino and rake in about $250,000 a week. The hacker believes this system acts as a counterweight to the general house edge and does not violate Russian laws. He claims that his actions serve the greater good, arguing that the casino industry has long profited at the expense of everyday people. According to Alex, while casinos market themselves as sources of entertainment, their true aim is simply to extract money from the public. By targeting casinos and taking their money, Alex believes he is fulfilling a societal role, much like a modern-day Robin Hood. At the time of his grand exit, Alex struck a deal with Aristocrat, the Australian slot machine manufacturer, who happened to be one of his biggest targets. The deal shows them their slot vulnerabilities, removes the target from their back, and also got Alex an unspecified payment. Tommy Glenn Carmichael, the slot rig. Tommy is another popular slot machine cheater who made use of devices like a light wand and monkey's paw to get millions out of casinos. Tommy has stolen millions of dollars from casinos simply by looking at the best possible way to rig the slot machine. One way was to use the slider monkey's paw. Throughout 1990, he was on a relentless quest to find a new way to beat the latest generation of slot machines. Locked away in his Vegas apartment, he spent countless hours working on a Fortune 1 video poker machine, but every attempt ended in failure. Then, one night, the breakthrough came to him in a dream, a simple yet ingenious idea involving a flexible piece of metal and a strand of piano wire. "I woke up," he later recalled in an interview with the History Channel, "got out of bed and built it right then." That night, Tommy finally discovered his key to success, the device he would famously call the monkey paw. It was a wire he would simply insert via the payout chute to trip the micro switch. This method tricked the machine into releasing the jackpot. Of course, with the improvements in technology, there had to be improvements in his techniques too. To beat this system, Tommy created a clever new tool he called the light wand, made from a simple camera battery and a tiny light bulb. By shining it into the machine, the device would temporarily blind the sensor, preventing it from accurately tracking payouts. The light wand became Tommy's most destructive invention yet. It cost just $2.50 to make, but some users claimed it could bring in as much as $10,000 a day. The device spread rapidly across the gambling world, leading to the nickname in the mid-1990s, the light wand era. It was likely the single most damaging device in casino history, with industry losses estimated well into the hundreds of millions. With these inventions, Tommy managed to get machines to spit out thousands of coins a day. His fun was cut short in 2001 when the FBI caught on and he was sentenced to nearly a year in prison. Ron Harris, the jackpot hack. Back in the 90s, Ron Harris, a software designer for the Nevada Gaming Control Board, decided to go against his job description. Harris was a software engineer who was supposed to be writing anti-cheating software, but instead chose to write code to help his accomplices hit huge jackpots. The Nevada Gaming Control Board was unaware that Harris was secretly coding slot machines with a unique and hidden software switch. The software paid massive jackpots to players when they inserted coins in a specific sequence. According to a CNN report, Harris managed to rig 30 slot machines before recruiting several accomplices. His accomplices would play slots and walk away with thousands of dollars. Harris got caught when an accomplice went off script trying to rig a Keno machine in Atlantic City. This mistake drew the attention of casino security and law enforcement, who quickly realized something was amiss. In 1996, Harris was caught and pleaded guilty to 4 counts of slot cheating. His arrest sent shockwaves through the gaming industry, exposing vulnerabilities in systems that were considered secure. He was later sentenced to 7 years in prison. Louis Colavecchio, the Coin. Louis Colavecchio was dubbed the Coin for his notorious counterfeiting. This con artist was incredibly skilled and managed to fabricate slot machine coins to win thousands of dollars at Vegas casinos. With a background in jewelry manufacturing and access to advanced metalworking equipment, Colavecchio used his knowledge to produce near-perfect copies of casino tokens, indistinguishable from the real thing. He raked in the winnings without ever actually betting any real money. Instead of risking his own cash, he simply inserted the fake coins into machines and collected real payouts, exploiting a system that still heavily relied on physical tokens. Colavecchio and his team were able to produce thousands of tokens, feeding them into machines at multiple casinos across Las Vegas and Atlantic City. The operation came to light when casinos began noticing an unusual surplus of coins on their gaming floors. Slot machine audits and coin counts began revealing inconsistencies, with more tokens in circulation than had been officially issued. This discrepancy eventually led to deeper investigations, culminating in Colavecchio's arrest. Colavecchio was sentenced to 7 years in prison, but was released in 2006, only to be arrested by the FBI a few months later after returning to his old habits. Despite his time behind bars and the high-profile nature of his crimes, he couldn't resist the lure of the con and quickly slipped back into counterfeiting. He was released on a $25,000 surety bond. Following his arrest, authorities auctioned off his counterfeiting equipment on eBay. The sale gave the public a rare glimpse into the sophisticated tools behind one of the most elaborate casino scams in history. As a result of scams like his, casinos began phasing out tokens in favor of paper vouchers. This shift marked a new era in gaming technology, as casinos moved to more secure systems to prevent similar fraud. John Kane, the bug of luck. John Kane is a lucky player who managed to rake in $500,000 after discovering a glitch in a video poker game. This glitch enabled him to play a winning hand repeatedly. Rather than relying on chance like other players, Kane essentially rewrote the rules of the game through the machine's own faulty code. Kane discovered a software glitch in the Game King series of video poker machines that allowed players to replay winning hands with a different, higher wager. The flaw resided deep in the machine's programming, invisible to most players and even casino technicians. Someone could spend hours betting just 1 cent per hand until they hit a jackpot, then replay that same winning hand by switching to a $10 bet, instantly claiming a payout of at least $10,000. The manipulation was subtle and didn't involve hacking or external devices. Kane wasn't working alone. He partnered with a friend, Andre Nestor, to exploit the flaw. Together, they moved from casino to casino, carefully executing their strategy to avoid detection. They kept detailed notes, timed their plays, and were careful not to draw suspicion. Over time, their winnings stacked up into the hundreds of thousands. Although both were eventually caught and arrested, the charges didn't stick. The case stirred significant legal debate. Had they really cheated or simply taken advantage of a design flaw? Federal prosecutors failed to prove any conspiracy or hacking had taken place. As Kane's lawyer put it, all they did was press a series of buttons they were legally allowed to press. Kane walked out free. Despite the latter story of John Kane, all the stories show that it may be the easy way out, but crime doesn't pay in the long run.